would be great to get like a few more converts out, like, you know what I mean, out of the SJW mentality, not to just come over and see everything my way, just to break from that programming. And I don't think you do that by, like attacking all the time. I think,
I agree.
I think that a fair amount of listening gets people a little more comfortable. And I thought about this actually in particular, like the other day, because of that whole thing that went down with Weather Katie.
Oh yeah.
So if fans of this brand, these two knuckleheads, Weather Katie put out a TikTok attacking men for sexualizing this other weather girl, right?
Yeah.
And we attacked her on Culture. First I went after her on Twitter because I was just like, I don't even know why I'm seeing this and I hate it.
Yeah,
so
I got blocked off Twitter, right?
Yeah, and banned from the whole platform for a little while.
Yeah,
Weather Katie blocked me, and then the Twitter banned me for calling this one guy a pussy, which he was. So we talked about in the cocktail lounge. Culture, I guess, Culture Casino newer. He came on, kind of tried to defend her, but really, I don't know. I re-listened to that video. There was not a lot of I didn't find much validity in his arguments. And then Nina Infinity, who knew her, came on and pretty much just agreed with us, which I thought was hilarious. And so whatever, situation went away. I put out a couple videos about it. I never thought about it again. Well, all of a sudden, I start getting tweets attacking me again about this whole Weather Katie situation. And I'm like, what, did someone just find this? And then there were a few more tweets. And then I saw on the video, Weather Katie responded.
Oh.
She put out a very detailed, not very hospitable or, response. And, eventually summed it up by saying well, I would have talked to you, except your take is so bad, blah, blah, blah. And I mean, I was my first response, which was the truth, was I never gave a shit about talking to you. That was not my goal. I don't care. I'm not interested. The only reason I even extended the olive branch was because we knew some of the same people. Yeah. And I was like, okay, I'll let you come on and have a conversation with us. But I wasn't oh, my goal is to talk to this weather chick. I could give a fuck. But afterwards, after we went back and forth a little bit in the comments section, I was like, shit, man. Maybe that was one of those opportunities where I could have had someone come on and we could have had actually one of those constructive conversations instead of just being constantly in these culture war.
Yeah. Yeah, maybe.
I don't know if she would have been but I'm just saying it was I was kind of predictable in my responses.
So to kind of rehash the argument, I remember it was thick weather girl, big old melons. And the issue, what was her issue on behalf of the girl that she was becoming?
So it was seriously the most benign TikTok ever. It was such a fucking no who gives a shit TikTok. So the weather girl is stacked, yes. Quadruple Fs. They're insane. They're comically big.
Yes.
And some guy put a video filmed her and then cut it up with this doggy video going
yeah.
That was it. That's all the guy did. And then Weather Katie saw this and snapped, lost her mind, put out a TikTok about it and saying I don't need to tell you that that's disgusting. And now every time she goes on the weather, she's going to be thinking about who's sexualizing her on the other side.
Yeah. Yep.
That was the whole vibe of the video. And so, I was just using it as fodder for content, just to make fun around.
And then the girl came out and was like, "Oh, thank you to all the new attention," because the thing went viral, right?
Mm-hmm.
Whatever, relatively viral. So, I guess my take as not as months after the fact, I'm not sure. Was there a catalyst to why Weather Katie showed up? Did something happen for her to?
Some girl, and YouTube automatically deleted this comment. I didn't do it. I don't delete comments.
Yeah.
Ever. But some girl, I'm gonna see if I can try to find it, because you know how YouTube, when they send you got a comment before they deleted it. So let me see if I can. But some girl was, winning awful day, but was basically trying to explain to me how and why news industry or the weather industry has been super sexist to women and weather girls and whatever. And still, that doesn't matter.
Yeah.
But it was, I guess maybe that's where she's coming from. Maybe there's been this issue of sexism in the news industry. I have no idea.
Yeah,
But
it could exist. It very well could. But like my main counter to whether Katie is okay. You've never seen a guy and like, oh my God, this guy's hot, or you and your girlfriends have never done anything like that ever in your life. You've never objectified a man sexually in any way, shape, form, or fashion for your entire life, right? In any way, right? Right?
well, I don't even know if that's the argument. At least that's not my angle.
That's
Because
well,
my okay, go ahead. Sorry.
my angle is, for fuck's sake, like, we're all adults, we're all humans, we all find things attractive. It is okay for a guy to look at a woman and find her attractive.
That was
It's
the
it
big thing. She's like, "Oh, well, you can think it, but the second you put it on the internet, it becomes an issue." It's like that's not
No,
accurate at all.
that isn't accurate. Listen, now there are lines. I will admit there's harassment. There is a harassment line, but there are things well before that, and I saw nothing that I could see or that was presented that went to the harassment line. There was no one like saying really creepy shit that would just say, hey, she
No.
has some big titties. Just like if a fucking guy goes out the ocean and he looks like fucking a Greek god, girls are gonna notice. If a chick has big titties, guys are gonna notice. It's okay. That's how we got here. Somebody
Yeah.
had to like someone to fuck them. It's okay. There was no, unless like harassment's one thing, but if it's not past the scale of harassment, chill the fuck out.
Chill the fuck out. And also, I take issue with the entire concept because we have to, we got to protect this woman who's being sexualized. Like automatically that's a bad thing, which it isn't. And I reject that outright. But
Yeah,
it's also this kind of hypocrisy. It's like, well, I mean, that might have helped her getting the job.
very true.
Being
Very true.
visually appealing on screen,
It's a visual medium.
it's an asset. And so it's like, oh, so you'll take it when it works out for you, but the second you don't control it, it's a problem. It's like
Yeah,
that's not the way the world works. Like I'm sorry, like that's an immature, childish, like kind of narcissistic way to look at the world. Like you just like, well, I didn't say you could sexualize me. It's like, bitch, you don't get to.
yeah,
It's not you don't control what I think, say, or do at all. And it really, it's very feminist. It's a
yeah,
very feminist point of view because it's like this crush of a natural male reaction and thing to do. Like just being a male, it's what you are. And it's very much like scolding for just existing.
yeah.
And I have a big problem with that whole thing. Do you want to hear her response?
Yeah, we can hear it.
Because it's not like it's exactly what you expect. But
Yeah,
Essentially
it's,
Zola says, I believe I know everything Katie gonna say.
I think we
Yeah,
all
it's
do.
it's very predictable. I mean, it's really, but it's the fact that we actually got a response for some reason. I
Yeah,
don't know why, but it says if you wanted to talk about this, I gladly would have joined to explain in more detail, which is kind of that old critical theory thing where it's like, I will help you understand my point better. I'm not going to debate the nuance of this or come into a charitable argument. Like the only thing I will offer you is more explanation of to why I'm right. It's
yeah,
like,
yeah, yeah.
okay, cool. That sounds like a productive conversation. However, your response to this video and previous videos, berating and cursing at me. Wow, she looked at all the videos, huh?
Yeah. Hey,
Got under
I'll
her
give it
skin a
this.
little bit.
A couple of them got kind of intense.
All right, I'll say the way I addressed it on the Culture Crime Fighters wasn't maybe the best. I think I was maybe a tad harsh,
Yeah,
but
because you
it's a
had
very
just
harsh
got
take.
banned.
Like it offends my very nature as a man. Like it's very offensive because it's like you're not allowed to be how nature made you. Like that's a bad thing, and it's like I have a very visceral response to that kind of like anti-male like crushing. I don't
Yeah,
believe in it, so I did.
masculinity is toxic.
Yeah,
So
like, and so I probably was a tad harsh, but whatever, man. Fucking so were you. Your whole video was harsh. It wasn't like it was a kind and like generous appeal. It was a scolding. It was a lambasting. And it's like, well, what kind of response do you expect?
Yeah.
Anyway, berating and cursing at me removes any chance of civil discussion with you. See, this whole angle, like, okay, great. Yes, the woman in the video took issue with what the video was. I personally talked to her about it. Do not jump to conclusions if you don't have all the information. Ask for details if you want to know more. I gladly would have provided them. Instead, you made a mockery of what is happening. For that, I'm truly appalled.
Oh, Jesus.
And then she says, also, cherry picking the comments that you read in the original TikTok does not mean inappropriate comments weren't made. You may not have seen them. We have a file filled with screenshots of it.
Okay. Listen, it went viral. I'm sure there were inappropriate comments. I'm sure there were.
Oh my God. Inappropriate comments? Well, call the FBI.
Yeah. Listen. Women, do you want to be attractive or not? You know what? Whether Katie, you're right. We'll stop objectifying you. You should stop wearing makeup. Toss on one of those old prairie plain dresses and a little bonnet. You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah. And by the way, take yourself out of the public eye.
Yeah, go ahead. You know what? You might as well wear like a little, they're talking about
wear a
mask.
burqa. Wear a fucking burqa.
That was just about to be the joke. I was going to make a burqa, but I was going to it up so it works.
My bad.
So, yeah, wear a burqa. That way, we won't objectify anyone ever again. We'll do it too. We'll all just wear great suits. We'll just all wear great jumpsuits there was no body definition shown. And we'll just, all wear masks. It all be just nondescript. And no one can ever be objectified or looked at for any sexual information ever again. And there we go. You're right, Katie. I want that nihilistic future where no one ever does anything sexual ever again or ever shows their face or anything. And for fear of an inappropriate comment. We can't have that. The whole
thing is being like the cute Star Wars weather girl. Like that's the reason she exists is for men simping for her. Like if that doesn't exist, no one gives. Women don't care.
Yeah.
Women don't turn into the news and get like a little nerd boner because she's got a Star Trek outfit on.
Yeah.
They don't give a shit. That's purely for guys. And it's like, you're cute. You got you on TV. You're fine with that. But the second someone says something, not even about you, about your friend, you take giant issue with it, make a whole big deal. And now me and her are in some kind of battle because I decided to. And I went back and watched the video. My take in the cocktail lounge was not harsh. It was very much just balanced. And like, this is why I have an issue with it. And basically everyone agreed with me except for Culture. Because Culture was kind of had like this fatherly protection of her for whatever reason.
Yeah.
But other than that, everyone in the chat was like, yeah, no, absolutely. Even Nina Infinity, a woman who's friends with her, came on and was like, yeah, I don't like Katie's take here. And she took issue with the fact that at one point she goes on to attack one of the guy who made the video because he's a father. So I guess fathers aren't allowed to have sexual feelings ever again.
Yeah.
It's completely unreasonable and it's absolute horse shit. And I just will like, there's nothing about it that like I said, I'd still be willing to have a conversation. Well, I don't know if I still now, but I was willing to have a conversation about the thing. I wasn't going to get a lecture. I wasn't just going to sit there and be lectured and figure out why, what your take was.
Okay, listen, God. You know what, Katie, I didn't say, you can look at my take. I forgot what I said, but it was pretty neutral. Because you know what? I hate to agree with such a deal. Spurred out a bit of the intensity. I was like, whoa, man, it's just a thing. But I know you just got canceled or not canceled, but kicked off Twitter for that moment. But
yeah, Katie, I was a little upset.
I didn't yell at you. I don't think I cursed at you. If you're willing to come on the Vigilante Williamson show, if you don't want to talk to Matt, I would love to have a conversation about this. I would genuinely love. I'm putting the feelers out there. If you don't want to talk to Matt, he's a toxic white male. Okay. Talk to the black guy.
You're black. Yeah, there's a different set of rules for you.
Even though I did kind of no fetishism. None of that shit. We already. I'm probably the least white simp for least the black guy that's going to simp the least for white women. But I don't hate white women. I don't hate women. Let's talk about it. We can talk about it. We can have a civil conversation. I want to get a civil point of view. I can't promise curse because I just curse naturally, but I will not insult you in any way at all. That I can promise.
And
So
to
yeah,
be fair to my toxicity, I wouldn't have her on just to insult her.
yeah,
I'm not a bully. I'm not a jerk. I hate your take. I hated that the way I hate that I got banned off Twitter and the whole. It's a very like it's a like a an issue in society right now. Like men are being treated very like disrespectfully for just having normal sexual feelings. Like it's like some kind of a bad thing. It's like I take great issue with that. So if I spurred out, if I was a little hostile, I've apologized for my tone, but not my point of view.
yeah.
It's a bullshit point of view you put out there. So I responded with, you were unreasonably scolding, quote, men for complimenting her. Your video did not warrant a balanced response. It was hostile and aggressive. You should not be shocked to receive the same treatment.
Mm.
And this is the last response. She goes, what you did in your videos and what I did is not, quote, the same. I was not scolding, quote, men because it would be wrong to blame men in general for the behavior of just a few people. Instead, I spoke about a video that was viewed as sexually inappropriate by the female meteorologist community.
Female meteorologist community. Of
Get
course, there's
over
a female
yourself.
meteorologist community. Of course, there is.
Oh my God. It's so self-righteous. Like,
Community.
what
Doing
is
it for
so
the community.
special about you? Like, get over yourself.
Everyone is special. I'm a special little snowflake, and I need a safe space.
Good God Almighty. I showed emotion in the video because it was an emotional subject. On the other hand, your response was uncalled for and inappropriate. Why? Why was it uncalled for and inappropriate? Like I said, maybe I was a tad harsh, but calm down. And she didn't comment on that video, so I don't even know if she watched that. She commented on this one on the cocktail lounge, where I was not. I wasn't overly aggressive. I was very balanced. My argument was simply that it's not wrong for men to sexualize women. That's not an issue, and you shouldn't take issue. Well, you can take issue with whatever you want, but expect to hear about it.
Yeah.
You made unfounded and incorrect assumptions and made a mockery of the issue facing female broadcast meteorologists. The issue, Jesus Christ. I would have happily had a discussion with you on this topic, but after hearing the explicit things you said to me and about me in your last video, that is no longer an option.
Oh, dear.
And I just said I had no interest in, like, I was not trying to talk to you. I just
was
talking about you.
I'd be willing. I'm trying to, do different things on my platform. I'll be willing to have a conversation. Not a debate. I'm not a debater. I'm not a master debater. I just want to have a conversation just because I want to get your perspective. And then just talk about it. I would love to talk about it. Shout out to the Crime Squad and the culture crime fighter community. We appreciate you guys here.
Shouts to that community. And I got to be honest, the Crime Squad has been great. The Crime Squad's growing. We have a representative from the Crime Squad here in Morgan Holloway.
Hell, Morgan Holloway.
Commies, which is hilarious. Yes. If you are curious about being a part of the Crime Squad, it's a very low level of entry. All you have to do is go to patreon.com/culturecrimefighters and pledge $5. And you do that $5, you know what you get? You get 11 Culture Crime Fighters Secret Identity episodes that are outstanding. This week we did Forgive Me, Lord, for I have simped.
Forgive me for I have simped. Yes.
Which is the best title ever. Vigilante coined that while we were doing the show, and I was like, that's it. That's the name of the episode. And it was really more of a podcast where we talked about a bunch of different things. But it was kind of like our relationship with sex and women and like the power that it can have and how it can make you do things or put up with stuff maybe you shouldn't or you wouldn't under normal circumstances, but that just need to have sex is so compelling. I thought it was a really, really good episode. And it's up there live. It's been up for about an hour and a half. So if you want to join Morgan Holloway and the Crime Squad, head on over to Patreon. $5 a month gets you all the episodes. And if, I understand, not everyone has any extra money. I get that. YouTube's free. Well, we also offer you a free option. The first episode's free, so go on over there and check out the Patreon.
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, I guess we could keep the door open. If she wanted to have a conversation, I would have a conversation with her. I would not
I,
attack her. I'm not
yeah,
making any efforts to do it. If she wants to get a hold of me and come and talk, fine. Or Nina can be there to mediate. I don't give a shit.
yeah.
But I'm not trying to do it. If you want to, you can, and I will be polite. I might not agree with you. I almost am sure I won't, but I will not antagonize you or insult you. I might curse because I'm a vulgar person, but I
Yeah.
won't. Anyway, tired of talking about her.